Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Another full day. I mean, we're just jam-packed, full of stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when the world is burning right before your eyes.
Well, that's not very optimistic, Keith.
Was it accurate?
Yes, but it's not very optimistic.
Oh, I'm not optimistic. Where did you have that impression?
No, I did not. No, I sure didn't.
All right, good.
So, yeah. Here's a place in Europe where your vaccination status is being checked.
Well, this is Europe, though, right?
Yeah, it's Europe.
Okay, what do we got here? Let's just see. Look at the police just standing over the tables. Wow.
Oh, just randomly going into a restaurant
Yeah.
and checking people's vaccination status. Okay.
I don't care for that.
All right. Hey, officers, why don't you beat it? Okay? I mean...
But that would never come here, right?
No, that's right. That's the thing. You know, Europe, they're way down the road from us.
Right, they're gone.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about that.
Nope, not at all.
I mean, you know, please. Yes, there are some mandates. Yes, there are businesses that will force you to have a vaccination card before you come in, but they're certainly not police checking, right? Right? Mayor de Blasio says he might require people to get COVID-19 booster shots if they want to attend concerts, restaurants, and similar indoor venues.
Right. So it's not bad enough that they're restricting your entry already in New York City. But no, now they keep pulling that carrot and that stick, just keep on dragging it down the road for you.
I think it's a fair question that we're going to analyze now. With all of our approaches to COVID, we're going to update them because we're dealing with some new challenges at the moment. Yeah, the stupid Omicron thing, that's what he's talking about. The Omicron variant that's coming here that has incredible similarity to the common cold. Do we really have to panic over this?
Yeah,
yes. Do we?
Yes, the government says yes,
Okay.
so you must. And
all right.
This is, they got to get you to panic so that they can institute even more control. They have to have an excuse to continue the requirements. If you want to, quote, be free, then you've got to submit to this. And the only way we can get you to do that is if we scare the crap out of you first.
Such a new mandate could include a second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Currently, the city requires proof of just a single shot to enter certain indoor businesses. That'll move. I mean, that'll go to 2 and then 3. It's coming. They're gonna be checking us. In fact, there have been checks in this country with police officers. Where was that? Was that New York?
Oh, yeah, New York City. I mean, they've already got the requirement that you must be vaccinated to enter the businesses and stuff.
And fortunately, a lot of police officers and sheriff's departments are saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And thank you for that. For those who are, abiding by the U.S. Constitution.
What's that?
Yeah, we don't, it's an old standby that we don't pay attention to much anymore.
I thought that was a ship. Is it a ship?
Maybe that's what I'm confusing it with.
Yeah, I don't know what else you would be talking about here.
Also in New York City, Bill de Blasio made a big announcement yesterday. All private sector employees in New York City will now be required to implement a COVID-19 mandate by December 27th.
So that would have been you and I.
That would have been us.
Just 10 years ago. Working in Manhattan for Glenn.
Yep.
Okay, neat.
So Glenn would have been forced to implement this, I guess, by the city mandate. Public sector workers were already subject to the vaccine mandates. This new move means everyone who works in the city will now be subject to a vaccine mandate. Wow.
That's not good, bro.
Whew. The more universal they are, the more likely employees will say, okay, it's time. I'm going to do this. Because You can't jump from one industry to another or one company to another. It's something that needs to be universal to protect all of us. Just this communist bastard.
Isn't he gone yet?
And he's doing this at the last few moments he can possibly do it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Yeah. Now, I think the next guy, maybe he'll remove some of this stuff because he seems less likely to do this kind of thing.
We'll see, huh?
I hope.
But I mean, this is
wow.
This is the fertile ground that for a century, American education has brought us to this moment where we've raised several generations now who are taught to believe that their rights come from government.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they come from government, then the government can dictate when you're free, where you can go, what you must do, how you must submit.
And they're doing it.
It's paying off, right?
Yeah. Children 5 to 11 in New York City will now also be required to show proof of at least one shot before being allowed access to indoor dining, fitness, and entertainment. So I guess movie theaters.
Yeah.
They can't go to a movie. They can't go to restaurants. They can't go to fitness place. I don't know how many 5 to 11-year-olds are really working out at the gym, but probably a few on the upper end of that age group. Our health commissioner has put a series of mandates in place. They have won in court, state court, federal court, every single time. Really? They've been challenged and have won? And it's because they're universal and consistent, and they're about protecting public right now from a clear and present danger, said de Blasio. I don't know how do they take it?
The first mandate.
My God.
We should have been out in the streets.
Yeah.
In March of 2020.
Yep. Because now they're really far down the road in New York City. They're almost to Europe. They're almost, and Europe is almost to Australia, and pretty soon it'll all be gone. They're doing this democracy summit or whatever they're calling it that Biden put together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they've invited 110 countries to this democratic summit with countries like Pakistan. So democratic, so wonderful, so free, and such a good example, a shining example for the rest of the world. I mean, Australia's going to this thing? Australia is a democratic icon? I don't think so. Boy. They're not even going to address the COVID-19 lockdowns.
What?
Yeah, that's not part of this.
I've not heard of this at all.
That's not part of it.
Wow. So wait, but we're taking a big stand against China by not sending government officials to the Olympics coming up.
Wow, that's going to hurt them.
Right?
They're going to be so hurt by that.
They're like, oh, okay.
I bet they changed their entire way of life because of it.
They're like, think? We'll save on catering, I guess.
You know what we're going to do is we're going to release all the Uyghurs now because that hurts us.
Yeah.
I didn't think you guys would take that step. All right, we'll open up all the concentration camps and let the Uyghurs go home.
And it just took keeping the government officials from America from showing up in Beijing for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wherever they.
Yeah, because that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. They were really looking forward to our diplomats being at the Olympics. The next step, though, could be before the games start, just boycotting them completely, and that would suck for the athletes. You train your whole life for this.
Yeah.
And then suddenly at the last minute, nope, sorry, you can't go. Well, wait. I've been counting on this. This is my time.
Yeah.
And in 4 years, it might not be anymore. I might not be there.
1980, right, with Jimmy Carter?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's who you hurt most with these boycotts, are the athletes. So I'd hate to see that, really.
So, wait a minute. Beijing gets the 2008 Summer Olympics.
We need to move them.
And they get the 2022 Winter Olympics as well. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
14 years removed, and the same town gets the Olympics again? I don't care that they're different Olympics.
I love Chinese people, too, but come on.
Come on.
Exactly. Come on. You know what they should do is get together and move it to a new venue. I mean, there's a lot of places that could hold it at the last minute like that. A lot of places that have the hotel space, that have the venues. I mean, Los Angeles is one of them. You could move it to Los Angeles, and they could host them. I don't know if they want to.
Hold on a second. Let's think this through here.
Mm-hmm.
Democrats act like they're so put off by the state of Georgia wanting
Oh, my
to know
gosh.
who's voting.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
And then let's take stuff from the city of Atlanta. Let's take the baseball all-star game away from Atlanta because they dare want to know who's voting in their elections. Chinese people,
Yep.
or the Chinese government is putting people into concentration camps effectively.
Over a million. Over 1 million Uyghurs.
Religious persecution.
Yep.
But I haven't heard one peep as far as boycotts or anything like that outside of this, diplomatic boycott.
Right.
Yeah, I swear.
Right.
Go away.
I know. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Meanwhile, in another liberal stronghold, Oregon, they're drafting a rule to make wearing masks permanent. So there's 6 states, Hawaii, Illinois, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, and Washington, that still require most people to wear face masks in indoor public places regardless of your vaccination status. I'm vaccinated. Yeah, right. Put your mask on. Yeah, but I'm vaccinated. Right. I know. I heard you. Put your mask on. Oregon's taking it to another level by considering indefinite mask mandates. How'd you like to live there? Well, some do. Some do. I don't know how. I don't know why.
Right.
It might be time to, pick up and move to a place with freedom.
And you're now just one gubernatorial election away from losing all that freedom. I mean, think of Florida. That is this beacon of freedom during the COVID era. How many, just several thousand votes difference between Desantis and was it Andrew Gillum? Was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, like Florida, you could be just on the opposite end of the spectrum that easily. Another state that, of course, got their voting situation under control after the 2000 debacle, I'd like to point out.
Well, yeah. True. Very true. And you need to in these gubernatorial, because when you're running for head goober in the gubernatorial race, you want to make sure you get the best goober available. And and they did. They did in Florida. They got the best goober they could find. He's not a goober, actually. I really like Desantis. I really do. But what are you going to do in Oregon? The Oregon Health Authority met Thursday for about 2 hours to begin the process of drafting an order to make the state's indoor mask requirement permanent. The OHA's Rules Advisory Committee discussed what the new indefinite face mask mandate would look like and the impact it would have on the public. Like they care. Some of the private business representatives expressed concerns about people not wanting to comply with the mask mandates. Well, good for you for at least speaking up. Hey, you know what? Some of our customers don't like that.
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
Yeah. Getting people to comply is getting harder, according to Paloma Sparks from the Oregon Business and Industry Association. Yeah. After 2 years, what a surprise that people are getting sick and tired of the freaking mask. Dr. Paul Cieslak, the medical director for communicable diseases and immunizations with OHA, said just because the rule would be permanent doesn't mean it will be enacted forever.
We're changing words now. Okay.
Yep. So permanent doesn't mean forever. Permanent doesn't mean permanent.
It's just that we're tired of meeting so often to come up with these regulations. We just kind of want to, enjoy our own lives, and we'll get here when we can.
Dr. Cieslak said permanent means indefinite. No, it actually doesn't.
Oh, my.
That's not actually what it means, Dr. Cieslak. It doesn't necessarily mean permanent. Then why are you calling it permanent? We can repeal it as well, but we're only allowed to have a temporary rule for 180 days. Anything goes beyond 180 days, we can't extend it. Why would you need something for more than 180 days? You don't know what this virus is going to be doing in 180 days. It might be completely eradicated from the earth by then. You don't know.
Wow, so they just want to meet every 6 months.
Yeah.
They're like,
No, they don't even want to meet every 6 months. They just want it indefinite so that they can meet whenever they please.
There you go.
A year and a half down the road if they want. Pathetic. I mean, that's asinine. You lazy bum. Just
trust the science.
do your job.
Trust the science, Pat.
Trust the science.
Now, you've got that extension, and now you've got the FAA extension by Biden saying that, okay, well, remember how we said you have to wear masks until January 18th? Just kidding. It's now March 18th because science.
Yay! Did they explain what the science was on that?
On airplanes and trains and buses.
Yeah, and the
stuff.
science on airplanes, because it seems to me like we had several articles that said, yeah, people aren't getting this on airplanes. The ventilation's really good on an airplane, believe it or not. And so people aren't really getting it from air flight. So why do they keep doing this garbage? Passengers on airlines and riding mass transit will have to continue wearing face masks or coverings until March 18th, yeah, like Keith just said. And the order requires passengers to wear masks inside transportation hubs like airports, bus terminals, indoor stations, in addition to being on planes, trains, and buses. Yeah, that's great. Just for another 2 months, don't worry about it. And then after those 2 months, it'll be another 2 months. And then after that, it'll be another, well, we better go 4 months this time. And then like Oregon, why don't we just do this permanently?
Yeah.
But permanent doesn't mean permanent. It just means indefinite.
Yeah, think of the paper we'll save on issuing all of these edicts if we just make one blanket edict that lasts forever.
So this sucks. So this does cover
Oh, no.
the vacation that I'm planning to take.
Oh, Pat.
Now it affects me. Now you've gone too far.
Yeah.
Now you've gone too far on the stupid airlines.
Yeah, they came close with the vaccine mandate in New York City, private sector employees. They almost got you there.
Except for I left 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, but my point is, it's starting to creep into places.
It's getting close to home.
Yeah, and now look
It
at
is.
this nonsense on the planes.
Jeez. I mean, people who fly all the time, that must be so obnoxious.
Well, think about that. If we were on the train, well, you didn't take the train. I mean, Jeffy and I, Stu, we took the train every day. There's no way in hell I'm wearing a mask every day on a stupid train. Not happening.
Because it took what? An hour? Hour and a half?
Oh, gosh.
What did it take to get to New York from Pennsylvania?
Oh, from Pennsylvania? I don't know. I think
or
it took
Jersey. You were Jersey, right?
Yeah, I eventually took a bus, but the train
did you really?
right at an hour. Yeah. Yeah,
Was
I
the
wish
bus
I knew
better?
Yeah,
Was it faster?
Because it was a private bus. It wasn't a stupid public transportation.
Did it cost more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But there were so many more options. And then just as we left and came here, they had Wi-Fi available on there. Mm-hmm. The bus was nice. A private company. Okay, that was nice. But the train, there was one train that went through my town. And if I didn't catch it, I was out of luck.
Yeah, you're screwed.
And it got to Penn Station later than the morning meeting that we used to have.
Yeah.
So that was insane.
Well, that's one of the reasons I didn't take the train from where I was in Wilton, Connecticut, because it didn't come till 5:30 and didn't get there till like 6:45, and that was too late for me. I had to be there earlier than that.
After running from Penn Station to our building a mile away multiple times, that forced me to realize, oh, look, there's a bus that comes through the town too. So, but I'm not wearing a mask. And now the vaccine thing, that town, I swear, America, it may be too late, so forget it. Just do your life, Reid. It's good night. I'm going to bed now.
Let me tell you about having a happy, healthy dog who's part of the family. 'Cause you love your dog. You want the best for your dog. Even though my dog is obnoxious, I still love her. I still love her. I hate to admit it.
My dog woke
do.
me up in the middle of the night. Had the weirdest nightmare. I mean...
Your dog?
Oh, yeah. It was loud.
Does your dog make weird noises in the night?
Yes.
Yeah, so does mine.
But last night was unprecedented.
Really?
Need to try the Ruff Greens with that
try
guy,
the Ruff
huh?
Greens.
Yeah.
Of course, you did try it once, didn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to try
I
again.
need to try harder.
Anyway, it's really changed my dog Belle's life for the better. She's active again. She runs and gets her dog toys all the time and brings them back up to me and wants me to grab it and throw it, and then she wants to keep it from me and see if I'll come chase her.
Yeah, and you do, right?
Yeah, no.
What? You don't play with your dogs?
Yeah, once in a while I do.
Oh.
I mean, if she's doing the coy thing where she runs up to me and then she offers it and then runs away, I'm like, okay, I'm done. We're moving on now.
She's playing. He's playing. You know what though? It's funny you mentioned that. With the little girl dog, I think that's cute and that's fun, right? With the big boy dog, I'm like, no, dude, no, stop. Because he's trying to be like I'm tough.
Right.
I just realized I'm a hypocrite with my dog.
So if you want the best for your dog, sprinkle some of this Ruff Greens on top of whatever you feed your dog, and it just makes it better for them. They love it. They love the taste, and it puts in all the vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and antioxidants that's been burned out of your dry kibble dog food. Most dogs absolutely love this from the beginning. My dog wouldn't eat her food without it. But you want to see if your dog is going to take to it or not. So they're going to send you a free bag of Ruff Greens that you could try out for a few days, just a small bag. All you have to pay is shipping. And then if it turns out your dog loves it, like mine does and Glenn's does and Stu's, then you can go ahead and get the full bag. Just go to ruffgreens.com, ruffgreens.com, or call 1-833-783-3364. That's 833-RUFF-DOG.
I will keep my promise. I will live in the past, present, and the future. The spirits of all three will strive within me. Oh, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I say this on my knees, Jacob Marley. On my knees.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay, so we have another Vax rap song. I can't wait.
Oh, okay, no.
I can't wait to hear it.
Think of all of the terrible things that have been happening in Australia.
Australia, mate?
Yeah, this may be the worst.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's check this out.
Science has done it again. A new solution to the mess that we're in. Creating a new way to save the planet so we can get back to our regular habits.
But here's the issue, and it's quite severe. We need everyone in, or the result is clear.
The virus will loiter outside your home, try to steal your breath, infect your dough.
But if everyone is keen to go and get the vax, you're gonna be safe in the face of virus attacks.
Defend ourselves from known mutations, party sensations across the nation.
Vax the nation, vax the nation, vax the nation, vaccinate the nation, vax the nation.
It's frightening.
Vax.
I mean, this is in a society that has really turned to fascism over this thing, and they're singing about it. I mean, if this isn't a cult-like religion to some of these people, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
It is a cult-like situation going on where they're doing rap songs to the mandates and the vaccines. Really? You're that married to it that you're willing to spend that amount of time to do that crappy song? And I use the word song quite loosely because that was hideous.
Yeah. I thought that...
Wow.
I thought the environmentalists were leading the way on cultism.
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
But no, it's the vaccine people now.
They've been blown away by the...
They really have.
The vax cult.
They really have. The Fauci people, my gosh. The Fauci fanatics that worship the ground he walks on.
Ugh.
And everything he says is gospel truth, despite the fact that he lies through his teeth all the time, despite the fact that he takes both sides of every issue. It's still gospel to him.
Wow.
They don't care.
And I'm only halfway talking in jest. Give it 12 calendar months. I halfway expect the government stormtroopers to walk in and arrest you and take you away for what you just said about, what is it? Lord Dr. Saint Fauci. Desantis. I mean, seriously. This is a...
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
We're
not that far from it.
No, we're not.
We're really not. Then we have this from Australia, where this song makes a little bit more sense, I think, right? This is starting to catch on internationally.
Yeah. This guy.
From
I love
Australia.
this because we've seen this song played out in big box stores and stuff.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah.
They've been singing this. So this is spreading globally right now, worldwide.
Yeah, these police show up. I think they're trying to enforce, I don't know the entire context, but...
A mandate or
yeah, something. And so this guy just steps up to the plate. I like this. Watch this.
You can stick your vaccine mandates up your ass. You can stick your vaccine mandates up your ass. You can stick your vaccine mandates. Stick your vaccine mandates. You can stick your vaccine mandates up your ass.
Okay.
You can stick your vaccine mandates
the
up
officer's
your
trying to talk.
ass.
Nope.
You can stick your
And
vaccine mandates up
They
your
finally just give
ass.
up. That's fascinating.
You can stick your vaccine mandates. Stick your vaccine mandates.
That's how to do
You
it.
can stick
Look
your
at that.
vaccine
Later.
mandates up your ass.
Now, I'm not convinced
Guys,
that's
you
going to
see
work
this
every time,
Commodore
but
1GZT357. It's a couple of D's dressed in black. They really.
I love it. But look at that. They're in
They
an
left.
unmarked car to enforce vaccine mandates.
yeah, it's fascinating though that they get frustrated and walk away. I don't know what they're trying to tell him. I couldn't really hear what he was saying, but
Does it matter?
it doesn't matter.
If it had anything to do with the vaccine,
and it obviously did.
You know what you can do with it, right?
Yeah, you can stick it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And just leave it there.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm over it.
Also, EU Parliament member. We played the Christine Anderson message.
Yeah.
Did we play it yesterday?
We played it yesterday. It was a speech that she made about how she will never comply. She'll never get the vaccine.
Right. It was kind of a response to the EU president.
Right, who says, hey, we might need a vaccine, everyone, just general speak. And
now she has a message for the people of Australia.
Yeah.
Might.
This message goes out to the people in Australia.
You said that.
My name is Christine Anderson. I'm a member of European Parliament, and I'm answering your SOS call. I will do whatever I can to make it known to the world that your once free and liberal democracy has been transformed into a totalitarian regime, which tramples on human rights, civil liberties, and the rule of law. I'm imploring all of you around the world who still think your governments are looking out for your best interest.
You're saying they're
At
not?
no point in history have the people forcing others into compliance been the good guys. The welfare of humanity has always been the alibi of tyrants. Do you not realize that this vaccine does not protect you from COVID?
Yeah, I do.
It does, however, protect you from governmental oppression. For now, that is. But don't think for even a second that this is not going to change tomorrow. I'm a German, and we once asked our grandparents how they could have just stood by in silence, allowing a horrific totalitarian regime to come about. Anyone could have known. All they had to do was open their eyes and take a look. The vast majority chose not to. So, what will you tell your grandchildren? Will you tell them you didn't know? Will you tell them you were just following orders? You need to understand, it isn't about breaking the fourth wave. It is all about breaking people. Australia does not need a no-COVID strategy. What Australia needs is a no-oppression strategy. So I stand in support with your fight for freedom and democracy. We need to stop our governments from transforming our free and democratic societies into totalitarian regimes. We need to do it now. We need to stand up now.
Yep. Let me ask you this. Where are the American politicians making these kinds of videos? Where are they? You got a German EU Parliament member who is answering the SOS from Australia and saying, look, we stand with you. Yeah, we understand what you're going through. We're gonna fight this shoulder to shoulder. Where are the Americans saying the same thing? Seems like they've been pretty silent for the most part, with very few exceptions. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. More coming up.
think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
Look at this. Southwest border encounters in Yuma, Arizona sector.
So one spot.
One sector. Last year, when it was Trump, and of course, that this administration inherited the Trump administration's problems. Of course, we all know that.
Okay.
I mean, they inherited a problem where 787 people crossed the border illegally. 787 last year. This month. It wasn't in a whole year. It was in October. October of 2020, 787.
Okay.
October of 2021, 21,683.
So 3 times as many.
Do not come.
more than 3 times as many.
It's 7. Oh yeah, I was thinking 7,000. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
21,000.
I was thinking 7,000.
21,000 compared to 787.
And those were apprehensions on the screen.
Right.
That was apprehensions.
Right.
So how many people are just moseying
Making
on through?
It used to be about they caught 3 to 1 or 5 to 1, something like that. I don't remember the exact figure, but they for every one they caught, 3 made it. Is how I believe it went.
Yeah.
So, because we're not catching the majority. We're not catching the majority of them.
So
we're catching the ones who cross where we can readily find them and apprehend them. But many of them know just where to cross, where they're not going to encounter any border agents or anybody.
So help a math challenged brother out over here. 30 times higher then? Is that what it sounds like to you? Right there in Yuma?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, that's unreal. And Donald Trump Jr. tweeted out the other day, and I forgot to look this up, but he said that, you remember how we talked about the $450,000 that illegal alien families were going to get because Trump wronged them and all this crap?
Yeah.
His tweet said that the House has already passed that.
Oh my gosh. Really?
I haven't
We
vetted
should
that.
look into that because I don't know that's
but
true.
What?
Unreal. It's just unreal. But again,
look at that right there. Look at that.
They inherited the problem. $450,000 payments to illegal aliens. Yeah. Oh my.
This is Donald Trump Jr. House Democrats just voted to make them law, and the media is covering it up.
So we need to
wake up and stop this bill.
Yeah, it needs to be stopped by the Senate.
Wow, that is.
Jeez. Wow. All right, we got some tweets here from Nidus Cupboard.
Nita?
Cupboard.
Nita.
The cupboard. Nita? It's Nita's?
I guess.
Oh, Nita's cupboard. Okay.
That's how you pronounced it last time.
COVID is only the beginning. Once we get used to the cops checking our every move, it'll become part of our normal life. We'll be the frogs in the water, slowly boiling to death as they raise the temperature of the water ever so slightly, and we won't even notice. Dead brain human missile tweets. That's what you are if you don't wear your seatbelt.
That's right.
You're a human missile. Tyranny is the price of freedom, Pat. Everyone knows that. No.
No, you don't know that?
No.
Oh.
Rowdy introvert. Freedom that is supposedly conditional upon complying with arbitrary government edicts is tyranny, not freedom. Thank you for that clarification.
Yes.
Jimmy Dimples tweets, seems like de Blasio really thinks that life in New York City is such a hot item, people can't live without it.
Boy.
More people are going to think, no, thanks, you can keep it.
Seriously.
That's for sure.
Report after report after report.
Oh, yeah, there's a
people
huge
leaving.
exodus of
Bye-bye.
New Yorkers. Coffee Lover M, Pat, every time I vote, I feel like I'm voting for goobers. You weren't wrong.
Oh, okay.
About the voting for goobers in the gubernatorial race. Jim Eagle 17, LA doesn't deserve to host the Olympics. I could see them hosting the first Hunger Games.
Boy, that'll be here before you realize it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that is seriously coming.
No question.
These movies like that no longer feel like fantasy or far out there or unrelatable.
Yeah.
We're there. We're on the brink.
And how about this lovely little item? The masks and the regular PCR testing for kids.
Oh, yeah, Ireland.
This is from a morning show in Ireland. showing how they're treating babies.
Yeah, trying to normalize kids getting it when they go to school and stuff like that. Look, let's show how fun it is. Watch.
And doing Q-tip testing so that we normalize it. And
so we normalize it.
Demystify that whole thing where I might put a mask on and be the person in the, the outfit they're going to see it there and go, okay, and tilt your head and here's what, it's all done, you're very good, just to play with it. And don't forget our little kids who aren't wearing masks are now going to see not only their teachers and adults, they're maybe seeing siblings and other school children. So even though they're not wearing them, it is important to normalize them.
Yeah, normalize it.
Friendly kind of, and this one has a nice little, I was going to call it a pipe cleaner. But
look, this one's pretty. This is a pretty mask.
And we squeeze at the top with that nice tight fit. We've got lots.
Wow.
I mean, that's the word of the day for everything, is it not? Normalize it? Normalize it.
Yes.
Normalize it until they just accept it as the norm.
We've seen them do that with any number of things lately over certainly the last decade, the last 2 or 3 decades. Many things have been normalized. So that's great. Thank you for that in Ireland. Appreciate that. Yeah. Let's just normalize the vaccination of babies with something that's essentially experimental. I mean, they keep saying, oh, no, it's been approved by the FDA now. Oh, the FDA approved it. Perfectly safe and effective. Is it? We find out something new every stinking day. Really.
It's almost like they're making it up as they go along.
Almost.
Oh, I mean, YouTube, I said it's almost like they're making it up as they go along.
But not quite.
No.
It's not like that.
Almost.
But sort of almost like that. Now, yesterday we had the video of the Indonesian volcano with all that ash pouring into the city. Jeez, that looked frightening.
Look at this.
Look at that. Oof. I'd just like to see that headed toward you. And there's nowhere to go. You can go inside the house, but a lot of that's coming in with you.
Yeah, I'm still seeing. I was looking for an update on the death count there, because remember it was 22.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 34 now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And here's some drone footage. It wasn't just the ash, the plumes of ash. It was also lava. And so here's a really cool look at it from a drone. Jeez. I mean, that looks cool, but it's not great if you live there.
Yeah.
Look at that lava. Wow.
It's amazing the footage we can get from drones now, huh?
Just mile after. It really is. Yeah, it really is. Look at that.
It's just barreling down the mountain.
Just burning through the whole forest there. Shoo.
Now there is concern that this is a precursor to something bigger. They, of course, don't know.
Like a bigger eruption?
Correct, yeah. I was reading something about comparing this to Mount Pinatubo and how right now this is not... Like they talked about how high this ash was going compared to Pinatubo that really affected the climate around the world. If you recall, that winter, it
made it cold
around the whole planet. Yeah, and so they're just suggesting right now that this isn't that big of an event as Pinatubo was. However, they caution that it wouldn't be unprecedented if this was just kind of the precursor to something really big there in Indonesia. So stand by. But I mean, what do you do? I mean, those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you said, where are they going to go?
Nowhere to go. I mean, your house is going to be a mess for who knows how long. It would come down the chimney. You know, every time you open your door, stuff is coming in. If you have any cracks or openings in your windows, all that stuff's blowing in.
Do you recall we worked with a great lady, Ellen Wheeler?
Yeah.
And I just interviewed her for At the Mic. And so my conversation with her will drop next month. But she just happened to be in Washington State when Mount St. Helens erupted, right there in the shadow of that explosion.
Yeah.
And she talks about...
So she was fairly close?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, she was talking about ash up to her, I think, knees or something. Or
ash up to her ash?
Okay, not quite that high.
Okay.
But
how high is her ash?
I don't know, man. I'm not doing this. So anyway, and just have survival. Just and this was in a part of the world where you have creature comforts, and she was talking about fast food joints and stuff, and how just survival in that setting was something. I can't imagine it in this.
Well, I was in Great Falls, Montana when Mount St. Helens blew, and that's 800 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And we were covered in 2 inches of ash when we came outside the next morning.
So not quite up to your ash.
No, not quite up to my ash. Unless my ash hung all the way down to my ankles.
Wow, and you got some issues with your ash.
Which I didn't.
Wow.
At the time.
Okay.
Barely 20 years old.
At the time. I love that addendum there. At the time.
At the time.
It didn't get up to my ash.
So
hold on a second. How long did it take for that ash to dissipate off the ground and stuff?
I don't remember, but it was, I think it was weeks before, it was pretty well blown out and taken care of and out of nuisance realm, because it was a nuisance for a while, at least days, maybe a week or so. But it was a long time ago. I don't remember the exact timing of it, but it was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mess in the immediate aftermath. 800 miles away. So yeah.
Do you remember how long it was until you saw the sunlight?
I don't. I don't remember that. You would think I would, because that would be pretty amazing.
I mean,
it'd be hazy for a long time.
Were you even in Great Falls, Montana when this happened?
Yeah, yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
You
but again, I was 20 years old.
Yeah, okay.
19, actually.
Wow.
I wasn't 20 until November.
Yeah.
There
so
you go.
What'd you just turn last couple weeks ago?
28. Been 8 years.
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah, solid
Hold
8
on
years.
a second. Let's do some math here. So you were 19 in 1980.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm 28.
Right? I thought I was bad at math.
This guy's a liar.
I thought I was bad at math. This guy over here.
Here's what the U.S. could look like in 2022. If we just keep going down this road, keep traveling this particular madness, this mad path that we're on.
And we will.
And we probably will. Here's what happened when coughing is made to be illegal. It almost is now.
Yeah. What happened here? oh no. Dude.
Warning. A cough has been detected. For your safety and the safety of others, authorities have been dispatched and will be arriving at your location shortly.
Where's he going?
You will be taken to the nearest quarantine facility where you will be tested and monitored. Please remain at your location. Unauthorized movement is strongly prohibited. We're all in this together.
That's pretty good.
That'll be here, what?
It's almost here now, because if you cough in public, you get the death stare from everybody around you. And I feel like saying, look, it's not COVID-19. I have tested negative multiple times for it. It's just a cough. Sorry. Everybody okay? Anybody drop dead instantly?
Watch this one, y'all. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And if you happen to cough without a mask, why then you're really in trouble.
And it's different now than it was, say, a year or so ago, back when the virus wasn't smart enough, and it would go down the aisles, right? It would go down the aisles one way, and then it would go down the other aisle the other way.
But it couldn't go back up the aisle the way it came, because that was not right.
But it's evolved.
It was illegal, but
right?
now it's evolved.
It's evolved.
Yeah, now it can do it.
And like Delta and Omicron, or whatever the hell it's called now, it knows how to go both ways on the aisle. So you have to be a little bit more. It's a trade-off. It's not as deadly, but it's smarter.
I almost forgot the grocery store one-way aisles.
Right? That's one little small victory we've gotten over the last year or so.
Yeah, they took away the arrows from the aisles.
You got to publicly shame these places that try to enforce this insanity.
So
to the
stupid.
point where, A, you've got to ignore it when you're there in person, and B, you've got to mock it online until there's just sticky residue on the floor where those stickers once were.
Let me tell you about Keeps. If you want to keep your hair, this is the way to go. And when you're ready, you'll finally make that call. Actually, you don't even have to call. You just go online. Go to keeps.com/Pat. This stuff is so good that 90% of the time it stops the hair loss. And then about 2/3 of the time, it also encourages hair regrowth as it has in Keith
You see this
and his head.
long flowing mane?
Long flowing.
You got that?
Yeah. Now, the hair regrowth obviously takes a little bit of time. In your case, you started, was it March?
March, and then by July, it was game on. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Definitely.
So go online, answer a few questions, take a few pictures of your hair, and post those. And then a licensed doctor reviews all that. We'll get back to you with the treatment that's right for you. And if you have any problems or questions along the way, they're a great company. You can message your Keeps doctor 24/7, and you can track your progress with Keeps progress tracking tool. So to get you started, we'll give you a special discount. Go to keeps.com/Pat. Get 50% off your first order. keeps.com/Pat. 50% off. Keeps.com/Pat.
My mouth's bleeding, Bert! My mouth's bleeding! Voodoo pedals! Voodoo... There they are! Bert! What do you know about that? Merry Christmas!
Pat Gray Unleashed.
There was an interesting scientific meeting of the minds. Now, keep in mind, this is October of 2019. So, supposedly, even before China discovered the COVID-19 virus. So, even before the Wuhan situation, there's this meeting of scientists, including...
I don't know if we have time here.
Dr. St. Anthony Fauci. It's been 15. No, we don't. Okay, so that's a setup for right after the top of the hour. We're going to play this meeting of the minds. You're going to be amazed. Going to be amazed. Wow, it's December 7th.
Yeah.
A day that will live in infamy. Perhaps not this particular day, but 80 years ago today.
80 years.
Pearl Harbor occurred.
Boy.
80 years ago. The surprise, wink, wink, sneak attack on Pearl Harbor.
Whoa, what was the wink, wink? What happened there?
What do you mean? Wait, what?
Oh, wow.
What'd you say?
Oh, right. Let's hear this.
Yeah, FDR had no idea.
No idea it was a sneak attack.
No idea it was coming. None.
Dastardly.
Yeah, he didn't know. Nobody knew. How could you possibly know? I mean, it was 1941. How would you know such a thing?
You got a sniffle? What's happening here?
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little bit of a
Boy,
cold.
the world that the greatest generation liberated after that.
Holy cow, yeah.
Compared to where we're at today.
Amazing.
What
Different place.
have we let occur? Ugh.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Before we get started here, let me tell you about Raycon. Man, I love my Raycons. They are phenomenal. First of all, great sound quality. You're going to love them. They don't look clunky and weird like the Apple earbuds do. Oof. So if you're looking for a great gift for mom, for dad, gifts for guys, gifts for your girls, your neighbor's cousin who has a dog that you also feed Ruff Greens to, you know, that kind of thing. You could study all those gift guides and shop at 10 different places, or you could start your shopping at Raycon and get everyone something they're going to use. These Raycon wireless earbuds. Phenomenal. They stay in your ears. They got sizes to fit everybody's ear size. Raycons give you amazing audio quality, as I said, wherever you go, wherever you use them to pump up, to wind down, work, or work out. They're useful for everybody on your list. You can go and use them on the phone. You can talk to people on the phone with them. It's just really fantastic. They've got the pure mode for podcast listening and blues and instrumental, the balanced mode for rock, heavy metal, and then the bass mode for hip hop, EDM, reggae.
That's cool.
I can't get enough of my EDM. I really can't. I don't even know what is EDM.
Electronic dance music.
Okay, is that what it is? Oh, all right.
You act like you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You're just joshing.
I'm just testing you.
Okay.
I'm testing you. The holidays are coming up faster than you would think. Now it's the time to knock out that gift list and avoid the last-minute shop scramble. And the last-minute shipping scramble.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
It's going to be tough, especially because right now you will get 15% off site-wide with the code HOLIDAY at buyraycon.com/gray. So go to buyraycon.com/gray, use the promo code HOLIDAY, and get 15% off your entire Raycon order. BUY, raycon.com/gray.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Couple of tweets here. Cardinal Tubin tweets. Places like New York City are going to be hurting in a few years because of these business vax mandates. Their tax base will leave for greener pastures, and unlike the federal government, they can't print their own money. Yeah, so they'll just go somewhere else, and they are. James from Augusta, it's unconstitutional to stop and frisk someone for random people for weapons, but perfectly okay to do it for a vaccine card?
Sure.
Duct tape, please. Tweets, what we need to normalize is freedom.
Yes.
Isn't that the truth? Now that you've had, hundreds of millions of doses administered, I wonder how many.
And more to come, Pat. Boosterific.
Yay!
I mean, seriously, you want to be free, then you've got to submit to the tyranny. And is that not the exact thing that George W. Bush said? I had to abandon free market principles in order to save the free market. Yeah. I had to abandon concepts of freedom and natural rights to save freedom and natural rights. Shut up. Ugh.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Nevada has become the first state to impose a surcharge on unvaccinated workers.
This is not good.
Speaking of freedom, all but 2 members of the state's Public Employees Benefit Program Board voted during a meeting to approve a surcharge of $55 a month on unvaccinated workers. The approved proposal also stipulates a surcharge of $175 a month for workers, spouses, partners, and dependents 18 and older. What?
Yeah, so this is a health insurance thing, I believe. So I believe that all state employees there pay $255 a month, and they're jacking up the price because they have to pay for tests and all this stuff, jacking it up by $175 a month.
That's on just the individual worker,
that's
right?
if you're vaccinated, right? Okay.
Okay.
So now they're adding $55 on top of that extra $175 if you're unvaccinated.
And then $175 for your family, it looks like.
Well.
Right?
I don't have the story in front of me,
yeah.
But basically,
the approved proposal also stipulates a surcharge of $175 a month for the workers, spouses, partners, dependents.
Okay, so it was $255. It's going up $175 for everybody under this.
Jeez.
Going up another $55.
Surcharge is going to affect July 1st. They'll help offset the costs of COVID-19 testing.
Okay.
So it's only fair. It's only fair that people pay their fair share, Keith. Testing costs through September were estimated at $3.3 million. So
the only thing that's going to save this republic, in lieu of us actually, showing up en masse like they are around the world, out in the streets, is I think these federal judges that we got to hope that Trump put in. Because remember, they filled all those judgeships, those federal slots were filled by Trump appointees.
For maybe the first time ever.
And again, remember how just Trump blindsided the left, mainstream media, did not see him coming. Can you imagine if the last 4 years, all of those federal judgeships were filled by Hillary Clinton?
Oof.
I mean, we would have no hope whatsoever in the courts with all this crap.
Yeah. This would be it would already be over.
Yeah.
Whereas we still have a little time left to fight.
Australia may be making us look like they're the free ones.
Yeah. If you're trying to sell your home, you know what a challenge that is, how stressful that can be. Let Real Estate Agents I Trust help you with that and take away some of the stress, knowing that you've got the best agent you can possibly get. Real Estate Agents I Trust. That's Glenn's company, and so his team has really carefully vetted these agents to know that they have really good track records to be successful. So they can sell houses. They can help you buy one at an affordable price. They'll get Get you the most for your money.
Help you get out of New York City.
Yeah, because you're going to want to be doing that.
Yeah.
And if you're relocating, like leaving New York, you're going to have to sell there and buy somewhere else. And so you need a realtor who's going to help you through all of the hurdles that come with that. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com. Some tweets here from T. Tongko. Wearing a mask tends to make my nose run and causes coughing. Anyone else? Probably. Proud Mr. Greybeard. Is world government and the vaccine scare creating a world society that will be dependent on government for everything, as they'll be immunocompromised and won't be able to work?
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Jeffy's Rona shreddings. Printing vaccine patches at home for self-administration still isn't as bad as ordering your vaccine off the dollar menu at McDonald's. Yeah, maybe not. It's close, though. Chad P. Connor, I can't believe it's Omicron season already. I still have my Delta decorations up.
Oh.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah.
One season runs right into the next.
It. You got to be ready.
Dirty assorted crackerhead pathead or cracker pathead. Keith, will Boosterific be copyrighted so you can at least make some money when they start using it?
Boosterific.
There you go.
There's your title for today.
Hey, you know what else is kind of terrific? Chris Cuomo, who just got fired at CNN the other day, has also lost his gig at Sirius XM.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
No.
Yep. Canceled. So he's fired at CNN, forced out at Sirius XM. He is a done.
So he's got more free time to walk around the outside of his house naked.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Okay.
He's also suing, I guess, for $18 million, trying to get his, contract paid off. And CNN says we're not paying him an extra penny, not a penny. So not only did they find out that he did much more for his brother than he initially told them, now they've got a sexual allegation by a former employee going against him. And I think that was the last straw. And they're like, okay, bye-bye.
Oh, wow.
No, it's just not worth it now. Oh, really?
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah. Some former employee, I don't think she has said exactly what he did to her, but that was the last straw. They're like, okay, bye-bye. Yeah. We're not going to draw this out anymore. See ya.
And he was trying to get information on his brother's accusers under the guise of show prep.
Oh, yeah, but he's a feminist, man. The guy loves women. He takes care of them. He protects women. And then he gathers dirt on them so that he can feed it to his stupid brother so that he can fend off these charges. Really pathetic. Really low-life stuff. So, Fredo is gone.
Oh.
Fredo's gone.
That's sad.
Yeah. H.R. 550, the House just passed the bill to fund federal vaccination database. 80 House Republicans voted with the Democrats to pass the Immunization Infrastructure Modernization Act.
Oh, well, that sounds, when you say it like that, now it sounds
good.
We need that.
If passed by the Senate and signed into law, of course, it would fund a federal vaccination database. Now, why did 80 Republicans vote for this thing?
Mm-hmm.
It'll provide $400 million in taxpayer dollars to fund the immunization system and the expansion of this database. Now, people are pissed off about it.
Yeah, I am.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're especially pissed off at the Republicans.
This would not have passed without them. There's the names we recognize on the yay side of the ledger.
One of them is Dan Crenshaw.
Dan Crenshaw, yeah.
And he's getting a little blowback from that.
He didn't like that.
He doesn't like it when people criticize him. I mean, who does? But he's going to speak out, and he's going to hit back. And here's what he had to say about it.
Okay, real talk. Time to debunk some lies. Watch from our own side this time. So this one's about the vaccine database that you keep hearing about. Like, that's what got voted on in Congress, and people are mad because some Republicans voted for it, some didn't. All right, here's the truth on it. Every Republican up here, by the way, knows that particular bill, which was Republican-led, actually makes it harder to track vaccine information on the individual level. It actually decreases the amount of money that was originally allocated for these systems by the Biden administration. So let's back up. Let me tell you the full story.
Back up.
All right.
There are something called immunization information systems at every state. These have long existed. In the American Rescue Plan, passed entirely by Democrats, no Republicans voted for it, they added about $500 million to that system and told states to, quote, make them better, right? They didn't put any guardrails, they didn't put any details, they just said make them better.
Okay.
This worried Republicans, because we're worried about these authoritarian blue state governors that indeed do want to track your data and do want to employ vaccine mandates and passports and the such. And so there was a Republican-led effort for this exact provision to decrease the funding for it and ensure that if states take that money, they have to make the data anonymous and only collect it at the population level so that you can't be tracked. So the Republicans screaming about this bill saying it's bad, it does the exact opposite of what they're saying.
Okay.
And they know that, but they also don't like explaining votes to you. That's the truth.
There's the truth. Okay. Well, I
So what was your question?
So I posed a question.
Twitter
I
to
saw
Dan?
him. He posted that on Sunday night, and so I immediately posed a question that has gotten a lot of attention under his thread. I have not heard back from Congressman Crenshaw, but it's just that I said the bill's sponsor is Democrat Representative Annie Kuster. She says the system will, quote, remind patients when they're due for a recommended vaccine, end quote. So my question is, if the data is anonymous, as the congressman from Texas suggests, and it's just population level based, then how will it know to inform Americans to get their vaccines?
Good question.
Congressman.
Right.
So
if it's not specifying anybody in particular, if it's not tracking individuals, how do they tell individuals, hey, by the way, it's time to get your booster shot?
And I read through the bill. It's only 5 pages long, which I appreciated.
Okay.
But, I mean, it talks about supporting activities to improve the scheduling and administration of vaccinations. Well, that sounds like...
That doesn't sound like it's the opposite
right.
of what people are saying it is.
It also eliminates barriers. This is in the bill, okay? It eliminates barriers to the exchange of information pursuant to immunization records. So we're going to take down those barriers. I don't know about you, but I choose to not live in a blue state. We talked about how you and I, we've lived up in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Okay, we're in Texas now. You know what? If my state's doing it right and not sharing that information, then I kind of want to leave it that way. I don't need a federal database. It's not a database, though, Keith. It's just eliminating the barriers of the sharing of the information that's out there.
Oh, man.
So anyway...
You just don't even know who to trust anymore.
Exactly.
You really don't.
We'll see what happens in the Senate.
Don't know who to trust. But let your senator know how you feel about it. In fact, both of them. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. This is really cool. NASA is looking to... I guess it's cool. It's potentially cool. It's also potentially catastrophic.
Wait a minute. No, it's cool.
It is cool. It is cool. NASA is looking to build a nuclear power plant or nuclear power generators on the moon by 2030.
All right.
Okay, you better get on the stick there because, it's getting late. We're at 2021, NASA. In 9 years, you're telling me not only are we going to fly to the moon, which we can't seem to do right now, but we're going to build nuclear power generators on it?
Wow.
Says we've only spent about 15 minutes per mission.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. I guess they've been there a day. Have there been overnight stays? Do we even go camping on the moon?
Do we even go camping on the moon?
I don't think so.
We're talking about building nuclear generators, and we haven't even spent a night there.
Yeah. So extraterrestrial power stations will emerge from sci-fi mythos into reality with the placement of a nuclear generator on the moon by 2030, according to NASA. Wow. The Department of Energy, working with NASA on the project, opened design submissions earlier this month to outside contractors to build a fission surface power station on the moon that will eventually help fuel missions to Mars and beyond.
Wow.
Sheesh.
That's exciting. So hold on. To recap today's show, we live in a country where half the population isn't allowed to eat in restaurants in New York City, but we're getting ready to build nuclear power plants on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense?
Yeah, they've already gotten 22 proposals submitted by private companies. So it's not the government doing it. They're actually looking to private industry to get this done.
Shocker.
The agency is looking to build a durable, high-power, sun-independent power source for NASA missions on the moon by the end of the decade, as well as potential subsequent missions. And they want submission for the initial design system by February 19th. Okay. So if you're a company that builds nuclear power generators on the moon, they want you to apply for this gig.
Well, yeah, so that's like most companies can do that, right?
Yeah, I think a lot. I mean, there's a lot of companies that do
I wonder if you get a government contract, your workers have to be vaccinated? Even if you don't walk into a government facility?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Stupid.
So this is not the beginning of nuclear power in space.
Oh,
supposedly.
really?
The 1969 Apollo 12 mission was the first time nuclear power was used on the moon. And every mission to space uses radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which are, in effect, nuclear batteries. So it's not that unusual.
Really?
Still. So can we really get... I hope we can. I hope we can get that done. That'd be cool.
So what is it... What's the story? Does the story say anything about how they have to get the parts up there?
Doesn't.
And like drop them down into place?
I've always wondered that. Are
they
prefab? Do we have something... I mean, they got to be pieced together, right? You're just taking the components up there and then you snap them into place like Legos.
Right, because they have these prefab homes, right? You're driving down the highway and you see like, hey, your dream home and all this good stuff. Is it like that with power plants?
Must be.
You just you buy like a starter kit, nuclear power plant starter kit?
I don't know. That's why all of this stuff, the city on Mars that Elon Musk is planning, just seems so far-fetched because we're nowhere near that right now. 52 years ago, we went to the moon and walked on the moon from 69 to 72, and then stopped forever, and then went backward by building this little airplane-like thing, the space shuttle that just orbited the Earth.
You got to look like you're doing something when the aliens had scared you away in 72.
Well, yeah, but then we stopped that too. We didn't even, for a long time, we didn't even have a vehicle that could go to space.
Yeah, to space.
Yeah, the superpower of the world didn't have a vehicle to take astronauts into space. We had to hitchhike with the Russians. We had our thumb out on the launch pad. Anybody going our way? We're going to space. Who's going?
Get on board. We take vodka for a trip.
Vodka and $50 million. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I left that $50 million bill back at home in my other pants. Can I get you on the way back?
We leave you there if you don't have ATM card.
So this is going a long way really fast if we are able to pull this off.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't have the faith that this administration is going to get us there.
They're not. In fact, I'm surprised NASA's even talking like this because I'll bet you Biden doesn't want any part of that.
Yeah, what are we doing for the Muslim community around the world with our space program?
That's what they're worried about.
It feels like they've kind of been tossed aside, and that's the mission statement. Is
the math outreach.
Right?
And that and climate change have been the job of NASA since we stopped going to space with them. Really pathetic. Pat had Spunker 1300 scat. No, 1300 sent us this video from Ukraine. There's
the little
delivery
robots. Yeah. So look, we're talking about going to space.
These aren't Amazons though, are they?
I don't know that they are, but look how awesome they are. Stuck in an inch of snow.
An inch. That. They can't move at all.
But yeah, we're going to build a nuclear power plant on the moon for sure. Sure.
Sure, that's happening. Okay.
Thought the dichotomy there was
perfect. It's a little interesting. It's kind of interesting.
Man.
Over the weekend, a restaurant in San Francisco refused service. Did we talk about this earlier this week? These, I think it was 3 cops, went into this restaurant, and they were initially seated, And then apparently the employees started talking amongst themselves. Did you see they've got weapons? They've got guns.
Oh my gosh.
They've guns in their holster. I'm not comfortable with that. What did you think? The police are going to take out their guns and start shooting up the place? It's just asinine.
I mean,
you're scared because police officers are holstering their guns?
First of all, I love it when I'm in a restaurant with cops.
Yeah.
Second of all, if you're in
What
San
could be
Francisco,
safer?
the cesspool that is got crime running rampant, you should be offering free meals. Hey, cops, please eat here. It'll probably keep the bad guys away if they walk in and see a uniformed officer sitting at a table.
Instead, they come over and tell them, we're not comfortable. You're going to have to leave.
Unreal.
And they showed them the door. And the officers got up and left. Sure enough, they didn't want to cause a scene. They wanted to be respectful of the business, I guess. And so they left. How amazing is that? You're not comfortable with police officers being in your restaurant? Well, okay. When you call 911 when you're being held up at gunpoint, we're going to remember that you guys are uncomfortable with police coming in with guns.
Yeah. Part of me is like, I hope the 911 dispatcher has a little pop-up come up on their screen like, oh, what's the name of the restaurant again? What is it again? It's at the very bottom. What is it?
It is Hilda and Jesse.
Oh, you're Hilda and Jesse's restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, you guys are uncomfortable with guns, so good luck.
Or sorry,
luck on
it's
that.
not in our
Sorry, you can't be
jurisdiction.
there.
It's a no-go zone as determined by you and your staff. So we just can't help. Sorry. Yeah, because most restaurants would go to social media and say, "Look, we had one employee that was overzealous.
It was a mistake."
Yeah, but they put out a thing just the opposite, saying, "Yeah, it's not a."
Our restaurant is a safe space, particularly for queer and BIPOC individuals.
Okay, fine.
Oh, all right. Furthermore, the fact that they were in uniform with multiple weapons on them made our staff uncomfortable and potentially other guests, so they were asked to leave. We would happily welcome them off duty out of uniform and without weapons. We're sorry that the decision upset you. We understand your perspective, and we hope you'll consider ours. No, your perspective is asinine. No.
From the side of the political spectrum that says that we shouldn't be carrying weapons, we should trust the professionals. The police should have them, not us.
And so the police do have them, and then they tell them to get out. That's unbelievable. They have since backtracked on that.
Oh.
Yeah,
there's an update.
I mean, they got garbage galore.
Oh.
As you can imagine, people were pissed.
Honestly.
And so now they're backtracking and, we have respect for police and we appreciate what they do.
Do you?
Do you?
I would never, ever, and I mean this sincerely, encourage crime.
No,
but if
I
I
wouldn't either.
saw that story,
but yeah,
and I'm a criminal, I'm making a beeline for that restaurant.
That, and you can't help but hope that if there's a problem, the cops are like, yeah, I know you guys are uncomfortable with this, so we're going to sit this one out.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Maybe they learn from this the hard way.
I mean, I don't want that to happen.
No.
I don't want bad things to happen to them. But, consider the consequences of what you're doing here. I mean, there could be no safer situation than to have a bunch of cops sitting at your restaurant.
In that town, you should want that more than any other town in America.
Yep.
Except for maybe Chicago. That'd be a good place to have cops sitting in your restaurant 24/7.
Yep.
Or Portland. That's another good. Or what's maybe we go with Detroit. Or Minneapolis.
New Orleans.
Or New Orleans. Or
Cleveland. Or Baltimore. Pick your Democrat city.
Thank you.
And
I'm glad you caught the strain
Kinda
involved in
did.
all of those towns.
I kind of did. Speaking of which, we all love to practice with our firearms. Those of us who have them, it's fun. And but it can be expensive. If you go to the range and you're buying the ammo to practice with, just the range fees are a lot. But then the ammo is ridiculous if you can find it. It's oftentimes not even on the store shelves because it goes just as fast as it's delivered. So try our Itarget Pro. It was invented to give law-abiding gun owners a better way to train in the safety and privacy of their own home. So affordable. No more inconvenient trips to the range or expensive practice ammo. Just download Itarget's proprietary app, load the laser bullet instead of the actual bullet into your firearm and start training. Dry fire training will help develop muscle memory and sharpen your target reaction speed, get your sight alignment and your trigger function, all kinds of things. Comes in all the major calibers, including .223 for your AR-15, so you can stay sharp with all of your weapons. Go to itargetpro.com, save 10% right now, plus get free shipping when you use the offer code PAT. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. itargetpro.com, offer code PAT.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, we've got the government going after this woman because she was in a truck and they were following the Biden bus around. You know, this happens at every city. They just drive along with it and wave at him.
Which is shocking since it was the most popular guy to ever be elected to the office.
That's right. That's right. But they had a, heaven forbid, Trump flag on their car. And so now the government's got to go and hassle them. And here's what she says about the situation.
Hey guys, I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I am Joey Lynn. I am a homeschool mama.
Joey Lynn.
I stay at home with my son. My husband is a plumber. We are getting sued under the Ku Klux Klan law of 1871 by triggered Democrats and liberal politicians.
My gosh.
For flying Trump flags next to the Biden-Harris campaign bus when it drove through Texas last year. You may remember the viral video and seeing President Trump tweet, "I love Texas." It was so fun to be a part of that. It was fairly non-eventful, shy of getting some cool pictures. But 8 months later, we find out on mainstream media that we're getting sued by former state senator Wendy Davis, somebody who works in the White House on Kamala Harris's cabinet, and other blue checkmark Democrats and influencers. They're claiming we banded together on a public highway to suppress black voter rights and minority voter rights. And they claim that we premeditated assault and attempted to run the bus off the road. Now, you'll remember from the videos, none of that happened. We drove peacefully alongside the bus for just a few miles, although this bus drove through Texas for several hundred miles unobstructed while people in all towns formed Trump trains to drive with it. So the 62-page civil complaint is full of lies that are malicious and frivolous and using the judicial system as a weapon against average Americans. This is called lawfare. They are making an example out of us to chill free speech in other Americans. In their press release, they claimed that they did not want Trump supporters to get away with stuff like this in the future. So what they're saying is they don't want you to be able to exercise free speech, which is your first constitutional right and a God-given right,
Is it really?
by forming a Trump train together on a public highway. But they are able to drive a billboard-sized bus down the road, and that's fine.
Yep.
The legal fees are expecting
so she
to
goes on to
cost
ask for
over
money here, yeah.
$200,000 just to prove that what they're saying
Okay,
is a
so
lie.
if you want to contribute,
freedomsake.com.
Yeah. So you can't drive down the road?
No. What are you talking about?
With a Trump flag?
No.
If you're anywhere near a Biden bus? When did that become law? What is the law being broken there?
It was
Did they threaten them? Did they drive them off the road? No, they did nothing to them. Were they shooting at them as they drove by? No. How is this still America? God, we hear so many of these bizarre things.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of fact check something she said there, though. She said that you have a right to free speech, and I'm just making sure that's still a thing.
Oh, really? Because it doesn't seem like we do.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Really?
Amendment 1.
What do you have there in your hand right now?
This is the Constitution of the United States. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
And it says something about...
when was this passed?
Bro, come on. Don't put me on the spot like this.
Sorry.
Amendment 1?
Yeah. Okay, the first... So this would be the First Amendment.
That's a better way to say it. That's more catchy than Amendment 1.
Yeah.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech. She alluded to something like that.
She did. She
Is that
talked
what
about
she
free
was?
speech.
That's what she's doing there?
Huh.
She was talking about this, I bet.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Do we pay any attention
Like,
to
I don't
that
even know
anymore,
if this... Does this thing apply?
I mean, I don't even know why you have that.
Constitution of the United States. This is a light reading.
Okay.
It's over, y'all.
And it's not funny, but you know, it's either you laugh or you cry about it all day.
What did the great poet James Buffett once say? If we couldn't laugh, we would all go insane.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay. Not being a huge Buffett fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We couldn't laugh, we would all go insane. You know that line.
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. No. Don't do that.
Is it on the same album as Cheeseburgers in Paradise?
It's a solo cheeseburger in Paradise, I'll have you know.
Okay. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Here's something, though, that might give you a little bit of hope that there still is some common sense left in the world. This comes from a very unsuspected source. Joy Reid the other day saw a headline from CNN, and it was about Desantis. It was about Ron Desantis, and he was talking about the civilian. What was he going to? He was going to do a civilian force. It's like a civilian National Guard, a state National Guard. And so Joy Reid from MSNBC gets a hold of that.
Yeah, and I think it was 200 soldiers, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very small number, by the way.
Yeah. So Joy Reid from MSNBC tweets out, so y'all know, this is fascisty bananas, right? No.
Fascisty bananas.
Sarah Silverman.
I love this so much.
Hard to believe, because she's as left as you can probably get. Definitely
Remember,
a Democrat.
Sarah Silverman has suggested it's time for a national divorce.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Stop twisting my arm.
So here's what she tweeted out. Because the article explains it, and it explains that 26 states have this fascisty stuff going on. There's been fascisty bananas going on right now.
Uh-huh.
And Silverman tweeted out, please read the article before you post this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Truth has to matter.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? How about that? Wow. Thank you, Sarah Silverman. Pay a little credit where credit is due.
Yep.
So his proposal is a new civilian military force. And yeah, you're right. It's a small one. And what happened was in World War II, Florida's National Guard was called up and sent overseas to fight. And so they're like, well, okay, we need I think we need some forces here just in case we have a disaster or there's people who need extraordinary help. So let's do a state force, which they did, and then they disbanded, and now he's talking about maybe bringing it back.
But because Joy Reid, her gut reaction is to despise anything a Republican does, she sees this and tweets that out. And
to her credit, Sarah Silverman actually read the story and gleaned, this is a crazy concept, gleaned some facts from it rather than just react emotionally. Why would you do that?
Stop. Who does that?
Nobody does that.
Nobody does this.
Nobody. It's like Stu's shirt that says, learn, then protest. The order is important.
That's a good one.
So you could also apply that to read the article, then post something about it. Because the order is important.
But the Babylon Bee did a great job of taking that news and running with it about Governor DeSantis.
Here's the headline. DeSantis leads Florida military into Germany to liberate unvaccinated concentration camps.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Thousands of Florida State Guard soldiers were seen landing on German beaches this week following orders by Governor DeSantis to liberate the concentration camps filled with unvaccinated German citizens. Och nein! The Florida men are here! Cried the German army as they abandoned the beach and ran for the hills.
I love it.
Within minutes, the Florida State Guard had taken the beach and begun moving inland.
All right.
From the mobile command center on the beaches of Normandy, Ron DeSantis was coordinating the liberation of unvaccinated Germans when two perfectly tanned Florida soldiers threw a scarred-looking private at the governor's feet. Scared-looking private. They threw a scared-looking, not scarred. That would be 2 R's.
Yeah.
They threw a scared-looking private at the governor's feet. We caught this pansy vaccinating himself in the barracks, sir. At publishing time, Desantis had liberated all unvaccinated Germans and was distributing life-saving monoclonal antibody treatment.
Look at that hero.
I was reading, speaking of this, I was reading this morning about this gum with plant-based protein in it that protects you against COVID at a rate of 95%. Did you see that? Did you read about that? You see it in the paper?
Chewing gum will save you, Jay? Come on.
New type of gum that's been found to nearly eliminate transmission of coronavirus by neutralizing the virus in the person's saliva.
That's crazy.
Team of scientists led by Penn State University infused gum with a plant-grown protein found that it traps the SARS-CoV-2 virus. The protein, known as ACE2, prevents the virus from attaching to a host cell in the human body.
Wow.
I want this gum.
Right. Is this a private company that did this? Is this Donald Trump supported? Because if Trump likes this gum, then so help me, we have to make sure that this is totally ridiculed, mocked. We've got to get rid of it out of our consciousness.
Yeah. A gum that cures coronavirus.
Have fun chewing your horse paste gum.
Good luck.
Dummy.
Plus, it's cinnamon flavored, which sounds good. Reduce viral entry by 95%. Would you rather have that or the vaccination shot? I wonder.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.